go. Good morning, everybody. It's me. It's Friday. I like every day. I'm always pretty much in a good mood, unless I'm late for the show. But good morning. I am here with, as you can, if you may be able to tell, it probably sounds a little different because I have a new microphone that, thanks to you, I've been able to put together a little bit different setup here. I'm not quite used to it yet, and it'll take me a while, but I can see my screens better, and I probably sound okay. Here, hang on a second. I'm going to just check myself here. Let me listen. You may be able to tell it probably sounds a little different because I have, okay, it works. And I like it. Anyway, today I got here a little bit late, but I still had some stuff ready, and I had a few things I put together last night. So, we'll get to it. I have a bunch of stuff, but the cover story is just one that I found very funny. So we'll get to that and everything else after the intro. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight.
And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the PDawgKnight Channel. It is Friday, the 16th of October 2020, and I am so glad you're here. It is the 450th episode of the Morning Night Live. Yes, I fixed my count, and give us some ASMR. I don't want to do that. So anyway, it is the 450th episode of the Morning Night Live. I fixed my count. I figured out what happened at some point around my 87th show. I wasn't used to keeping count on my show, and I repeated 77 for some reason. So I was been 10 off ever since the 77th show, or this 87th show. So I fixed that. I'm slowly going through and changing all the numbers on all 450 episodes. Eventually, it's not a big deal. Anyway, I am fired up. I am glad to be here. I'm glad that you're here. In fact, I'm so glad that you're here. I am going to say good morning. Of course, I do that every morning, but I'm going to do it anyway, and again, and that's just what we do here. First in the chat today is our good friend Gunfox61, who gets the bell. And as I mentioned yesterday, Gunfox has set up my Discord server. I'll start giving out that link on Monday. And here's the thing. I'm pretty much only going to give out that Discord server link or whatever, to the invite to join, whatever, to people who come into the chat, because I want it to be a server for the people who watch the show. And so, so we'll work that out. But anyway, again, that's going to be mostly for news stuff, Twitter, hentai porn, not hentai porn, hentai. What do I call it? Damn it. Not hentai porn. What the hell am I saying? What is it called? What do I call that? I have a name for it. Something. Twitter cringe hentai. Okay, now I forgot. I meant to mention this out. Hentai porn. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, let's look. Let me just take a look, because I haven't done one for a while. I got to start doing more of those videos. We're going to scroll through here. Let me find out what I call this. Twitter hot takes hentai. That's what I meant to call it, because I was joking it about being Twitter hot take porn, but I just want to call it Twitter hot take hentai. Anyway, also good morning to Jay Muller, a name that I haven't seen. I don't know if I've seen you in here, but welcome, unless you've changed your name from something else. Also, good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Richo, my friend from Down Under, and my other friend from Down Under, Malia Carr. I'm so happy to see you, my dear. Welcome back. Also, good morning, Zach Osborne. Bear Cock is here. Good morning. D.I. Freighter Watcher. Donatello Slapfellow, one of my favorite names on the internet. Also, I got good morning, Blind Press. How you doing? Another one of my friendly neighbor Canadians. Hello. Also, good morning, Midday Sin. Zero the Hero, Cindy Rochelle, who's in Florida right now. By the way, Cindy Rochelle, I haven't seen you for a couple days, and it's 81 in Wildwood, Florida. Whew, it was 34 degrees here this morning. Now that's crazy because, you know, it's fall in Minnesota, so you could get anywhere from the 80s to the low 30s. But literally 2 weeks ago, I was on the border of Canada at Lake Superior, and it was 66 degrees. And now I'm back down here in southern Minnesota, and it's 34 degrees just 2 weeks later. So that's just how it goes around here. But anyway, hi, Cindy Rochelle. Good morning, Jonas Pedersen, Renee Mayette. Let's see. Anybody who else here? I said Jonas Pedersen already. John Smith, say good morning to Elizabeth for me. RVA Dar, nice to see you back. God Emperor of Duncan. Purple Pill Perspective. Select a boy. Yeah, boy. And let's see. I'm coming down here. Atheist Icon. Good morning. Katie did skate. Okay. Hard disk fail. It's one word, but it always gets me messed up. But anyway, so those are the people who've jumped into the chat. If you're lurking in the background or just watching at work or listening at work or whatever, welcome to all of you also. So today I want to talk about. Well, I'm going to start out with the story in my thumbnail because it. Actually, no. Here's what I want to do. Hang on a second. I need to. I had to mute that. By the way, good morning, Duck Dog. How you doing, my brother? Right now, if you have a beverage of choice, I'm going to ask you because I have my reparations coffee in the Salt Lake City, Utah coffee cup that my future son-in-law will be or got for me when he was in Utah. The Salt Lake City, Utah cup that I got. Oh my goodness gracious. By the way, I did remember to reset the Superstar Donor of the Day. Now, but I realized yesterday that it only tracks my Streamlabs donations. It doesn't track the YouTube's ones. So I apologize that I'm going to have to rename that to the Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day because there's all of anyone who donates even $1 to me as a superstar. But, you know, it's just one of those things. Thank you, Gunfox61, with the first super chat and kicking it off like a mother, who says, let's kick this off, right? Twitter salt post and, Marty hentai, porn, TMI. Also, if you need news filler, check Discord. Yeah, we're going to be using that a lot for news. At Twitter, hot takes hentai. That's what I meant to say. Salt post, Twitter salt. Okay, we'll figure out what to call it, but that'll be a fun one because I just basically what I'm going to ask you to do in that particular section of the Discord server is basically cringe and or salty Twitter posts from whoever does that. We want to keep that one fun, and then we have a separate news tab, and we'll add things as people desire. But anyway, thank you, Gunfox61, again for the big number for the start off with the 27. He is the. Oh, hang on, I got something else I can do here now. Hang on. Gunfox61 is the Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day. Now, wait a minute. I got to see what that sounded like. I have new toys. Let me see if that worked. Oh, it's still echoing. Gunfox61 is the Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day. That's embarrassing. Okay. Now, wait a minute. I got to see what that sounded like. I have new toys. Okay, the toys aren't working. Anyway, but I can hear you. Now you're echoing me. All right. Thank you, Piccolo, the Driving Ape, the first YouTube super chat of the day, who it looks like a message-free super chat. Just thank you for the $1.99 Canadian through super chat. Thank you, Piccolo. I appreciate it. Oh, with a thumbs up. Oh, do I have those little icon things too? I didn't even know I didn't even set those up. Well, I'm glad I get those too. All right. Let's why didn't my new effect work though? That annoys me. Let me try this again. Let's go with number 4. Click. Testing 1 2. Why didn't my new effect work though? That annoys me. Let me try this again. Let's go with number 4. Click. Aha! Testing 1 2. Why didn't my new effect work though? All right, now it's just recording. Sorry guys, a little technical difficulty. Now I got it. I have some new effects that I have on. I have a mixing board now, and that goes with my new mic and all this stuff. And again, thanks to you, I've been able to improve the show because of your generous donations. I really appreciate you guys. All right, let's get into this show though, because I want to start out with, on Fridays I like to read the my friend JJ Sefton's intro for the Ace of Spades blog, where I use my normal aggregator here, and he has a good one this morning. So we're going to go through this, and then we're going to get into my lead story about the dude from C-SPAN. Yeah. All right. So anyway, am I done? And I'm assuming that I'm not echoing anymore. Okay, here we go. So he starts out today with the proverbial good morning, kids. The weekend is here, and here's what an insane weekend has been, considering everything that's happened since the last New Year's Day. That's saying something. On top of wrapping up the confirmation hearing of Amy Coney Barrett, the polar opposite in every way, shape, and form of the deceased individual hailed as a deity by the left that she will be replacing, in and of itself a history-making story, which will no doubt affect the trajectory of this nation for decades to come. We have 2 more Titanic stories that are equally consequential. The dam bursting forth with the New York Post blockbuster expose of the Biden family's criminal enterprise centered around a 50-year pay-for-play influence peddling racket run by the current Democratic president nominee, and the Big Brother, Big Tech oligarchy strangling the First Amendment in an attempt to cover it all up. Thank you, Blind Press, who also gave me one of these little, these icon thingies on YouTube. Thank you, my dear, for the $2.99 Canadian, which I can't remember. Is that like, I keep going backwards. I keep saying, is it $7 or $2? Anyway, whatever, with a nice little, the Hey You dancing, whatever the hell that is. It looks like a rotten pear, but anyway, thank you, my dear. I greatly appreciate you. All right. All of that makes the fact that we had what ordinarily would be a page 1 story of dueling presidential town halls last night pale in insignificance, despite the complete puerile, shameless hackery of both Savannah Gutterball and George the Minimal Stephanopoulos. They weren't, as we'll discuss in a moment. But first, Tucker Carlson went on a tear last night about the Bidens, who, as the revelations begin to come out bit by bit, are threatening to steal the crown of the most corrupt political family from the Clintons to the Kennedys. Now, rather than read this, let's go take a check. Let's take a little look at Tucker's rant from last night. Hang on, let's see. Hopefully they have video here. I'm sure they will. Let's see. Because I missed Tucker's rant last night. Please, 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 let there be video. We're just waiting for it to load. Because sometimes my internet doesn't like to work in the morning because everyone gets on at the same time in my neighborhood because everyone's working from home thanks to COVID. And I can't see it. Okay, here we go. Tucker Carlson's segment featuring new emails from Hunter Biden. Let's listen to Tucker this morning. And of course, hang on. No, it should be there. Okay, this is one of those things. I figured out that you can't do this on here anymore. You have to actually go into the tweet because for some reason embedded tweets will not play sound. So let's read it. Let's do it from the actual tweet itself. I probably should have tried that. It's not my potato internet. It's just,
true.
Okay, there we go.
But not everything you hear is untrue, and not every story is complex. At the heart of the growing Biden-Ukraine scandal, for example, is a very straightforward question. Did Joe Biden subvert American foreign policy in order to enrich his own family? In 2015, Joe Biden was the sitting vice president of the United States. Included in his portfolio were U.S. relations with the nation of Ukraine. So at that moment, Vice President Joe Biden had more influence over the Ukrainian government and the Ukrainian economy than any other person on the globe outside of Eastern Europe. Biden's younger son, Hunter, knew that. He hoped to get rich from his father's influence. Emails published yesterday by the New York Post, documents apparently taken directly from Hunter Biden's own laptop, tell some of that story. Tonight, we'd like to bring you some more detail. We have another batch of emails, some exclusive to the show. We believe.
You know, okay, let me stop, because the reason I'm laughing is because when that story came out in the New York Post, I said to myself, there is no way that's all there is. I said, you know what? This is going to be kind of one of those, it's like a leaky faucet. Drip, drip, drip. And apparently this guy who was fixing the computer and sent, here's the thing. So in that particular repair business where they were fixing this water damaged laptop that nobody bothered to pick up, when they don't pick it up within the prescribed 90-day period that they are supposed to pick it up, that computer becomes the property of the vendor fixing the computer, if it's never claimed, right? So it's their property. So when they take the information of it and then they get nervous and send it to the FBI because there's things on there you got to go, whoa, what the hell is this? But when he kept the rest of the hard drive, that belongs to him. Now, a hard drive, probably, I'm guessing, Biden's there, they got some money behind him. So at least they probably got, at least 500K of, storage on it. So I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff on it. They had pictures. Where else would somebody get the pictures? And why? First of all, I'm kind of wondering why Hunter Biden kept the pictures. But anyway, so when that story came out in the New York Post yesterday, it just showed the one email. A couple things you got to notice. One, what was obvious is all the rest of the media and the social media, whatever, they went into all full-on circle the wagons mode for the Biden family. But the other thing was, have you heard anyone named Biden deny any of this yet? I've heard all the media, the circle the wagons, don't let anybody see it on social media, whatever, they block it and they're, suspending people and shit. But did anyone in the Biden family out there denying this? Did anyone in the town hall last night ask Joe Biden about this? Hell no. And now, because if they would have, surely they know more was coming. By the way, take that simultaneous sip that I forgot to do. Yeah, I got my slut cup. It's for Salt Lake City, Utah. There it is. Salt Lake City, Utah. Have a sip of coffee. All right, Tucker, take it away.
I believe they also came from Hunter Biden's laptop. We can't prove that they did. We haven't examined that computer. But every detail that we could check, including Hunter Biden's personal email address at the time, suggests they are authentic. As we told you last night, if these emails are fake, this is the most complex and sophisticated hoax in history. It almost seems beyond human capacity. The Biden campaign clearly believes these emails are real. They have not said otherwise.
Hey. Oh, by the way, hi, Mike Savage, Blarg, and also I saw Chi-Town Jay in the house, Bim Jim, Thomas Cleaver. Good morning, friends. Nice to see you here. Welcome to the show. Oh, Big Assassin 80 too. I didn't see you pop in. I'm not looking at the chat at the moment, but now I am, and now I know you were here. Great to see ya. And Katie Sip. Cheers, my mug is Jack Skellington. Jack Skellington. I'm not sure what that Jack Skellington. I'm not sure I'm familiar, but I'll figure it out. Okay, here we go.
Body of them to Hunter Biden's attorney and never heard back. So
wait, what did you just say?
Here's what we have learned.
Hang on.
He believes these emails are real. They have not said otherwise.
Oh.
We sent the body of them to Hunter Biden's attorney and never heard back.
Oh.
So with that in mind, here's what we have learned. On November 2nd, 2015 at 4:30 in the afternoon, a Burisma executive called Vadim Pozharsky emailed Hunter Biden and his business partner, Devin Archer. The purpose of the email, Pozharsky explains, is to, quote, be on the same page about our final goals, including but not limited to a concrete course of action. So what did Burisma want exactly? Well, good PR, for starters. The executive wanted, quote, high-ranking U.S. officials to express their, quote, positive opinion of Burisma.
And who could possibly, why would they be asking Hunter Biden about this? Hunter Biden's not an elected official. And, like a lot of the people trying to circle those wagons, Hunter Biden's not running for president because, they have the pictures of him with the crack pipe in his mouth and having sex with a paid paid companion, so to speak. And, but he's not ready for, let me be honest, I couldn't give two craps about him smoking crack or being with a paid human contact person because he's not ready for president. It's not Joe Biden's fault necessarily that there's one bad apple in the whole bunch girl, but I don't care what they say. I don't care what you've heard. The Burisma stuff is an issue. Sorry, it is. And there's more to come, apparently. All right, let's go.
And then he wanted the administration to act on Burisma's behalf. Quote, the scope of work should also include organization of a visit of a number of widely recognized and influential current and or former U.S. policymakers to Ukraine in November, aiming to conduct meetings with and bring positive signals and message of support to Burisma. The goal, the executive explained, was to, quote, close down any cases / pursuits against the head of Burisma in Ukraine.
Okay, now, before he gets to it, he might get to it, but I need to, I need to clarify something. The idea that they could get people to come to Burisma, or at least so one thing they're saying is that, well, Burisma wasn't under investigation yet. Yeah, but they had wind, and I'm not talking about that kind of wind. They had wind that there might be an investigation on the way. Yeah, I don't know if that even matters. Why would Hunter Biden be able to, get some positive support from officials in the U.S.? Hunter Biden's not an elected official. He doesn't have connections to any Oh, wait a minute. Silly me. His father was the vice president of the United States at the time. Thank you. Thank you, Pincalo. With the $2 via Super Chat. Oh, yeah, but why was Eric Trump in Ukraine 10 years ago at a beauty pageant? Yeah, did you see it? Did the rest of you see that on Twitter? Scott Dworkin, I should say Scott Dorkin, because he's a freaking dork and a dweeb. Anyway, he put out some video of Eric Trump in Ukraine 10 years ago, sitting in the audience of some beauty pageant, which, remember, the Trump organization owned the Miss Universe pageant. So any of those pageants throughout the world, you might find a Trump at one of them since they run most of them. So it looked like the Miss Ukraine pageant that Eric Trump was sitting at 10 years ago when his father didn't have a damn thing to do with the United States government. But I'm just saying. Anyway, let's see what else Tucker has to say here.
So that couldn't be clearer.
Oh, no, it couldn't.
Burisma wanted Hunter Biden's father to get their company out of legal trouble with the Ukrainian government. And that's exactly what happened. 1 month later to the day, on December 2nd, 2015, Hunter Biden received a notice from a Washington PR firm called Blue Star Strategies.
Oh.
Blue Star Strategies apparently had been hired to lobby the administration on Ukraine. This show has exclusively obtained that.
This is new information that we're getting from Tucker. I wonder if I'm going to get banned from social media or, oh shit, if I get banned from YouTube, I'll open a D Live. You'll have to watch my Twitter. We'll see. Anyway, but I don't know. Let's see what he says.
That email. Hello all.
Hi, Lindsay.
This morning, the White House hosted a conference call regarding the vice president's upcoming trip to Ukraine. Attached is a memo from the Blue Star Strategies team with the minutes of the call, which outlined the trip's agenda and addressed several questions regarding U.S. policy toward Ukraine, end quote. So here you have a PR firm involved in an official White House foreign policy.
I had no idea. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelites, who says with the $2 Streamlabs, Boomer updates failed. Error 404. Boomer incapable of completing task. Submit help ticket with grandkid yet born. I don't.
That's right.
I have no idea what you're saying there, but okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you always. I'm not sure. Did I do something? Did I mess up something? Or am I just not getting through this video fast enough? Let's keep going here. So how did the hell did this PR firm know about the vice president's call? Let's continue.
Policy call. How could that happen? Good question. But it worked. Days later, Joe Biden flew to Ukraine and did exactly what his son wanted. The vice president gave a speech.
No. Come on, Tucker. Now, wait a minute. I got to stop right there. I have to stop right there. Tucker Carlson, let me just tell you something. That was just a coincidence.
Very Ukrainian law enforcement official who was tormenting Burisma. The exact.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Did something happen here? Is something happening to my stream? What is going on here? Marty, I got discovered. You can use my channel. Is something going wrong? Is something wrong here? Is everyone in the chat a mod? Well, not everybody. No, I just, all my mods show up here a long time. Am I having issues, guys? Hang on. Now you got me worried. Hold up. Or is I don't know what we're talking about here. So let me, oh no, it's going fine. Excellent connection. Everything's good. What are we talking about? No, not everyone's a mod, Scotty Tubbs. Just all my mods are here. That's what it is. All my mods are in the house. That's, that's just how it is. Good morning, Reese Donald, by the way, Chadwick Dupree, Scotty Tubbs, and someone else I didn't see before is here. Okay, no, nothing is wrong. Okay, all right. I thought maybe I was having issues here. I love that alert, but hey, thank you, Knees. I think that's a Portuguese name. Knees, the last name. Oh no, it's not Portuguese. It's a Ukrainian name because Anya is a Ukrainian, a traditional Ukrainian name for a female. Thank you, Anya Knees. With the 223, who said, could be worse. Kamala has no idea how to get ahead. Thank you, Anya Knees. I appreciate your contribution to the show on the daily. Thank you. Let's go back. Where was Tucker here? Now I can't remember where I had Tucker. Let me find Tucker and finish this out.
Guy. If the Ukrainian government doesn't fire its top prosecutor, a man called Viktor Shokin, Biden explained, the administration withhold $1 billion in American aid.
Hi, Becca
Now,
Fairley.
Ukraine
Hi,
is a poor
Simon
country,
Wolfwood.
so they had no choice but to obey. Biden's bullying worked. He bragged about it later.
Yeah.
And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from
What's amazing, I know you've all seen this before, so I'm going to talk over it.
Against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion.
Now, before I know you've seen this. What amazed me yesterday also is a lot of these people, the media and Democrats and people circling the wagons, the social media companies, some of the people out there were trying to say Joe Biden had nothing to do with forcing out that prosecutor. Now, the first part of it was a little different because they were saying, well, they didn't do it because of Hunter Biden. But then the second half said he didn't have anything to do with forcing out the prosecutor when we have video tape of him saying what he is saying right here, right now. Poof.
They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion.
Hi, Becca.
I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
Oh.
Now, Joe Biden gave that speech before the Council on Foreign
Okay, is it just me? Okay, wait a minute. So this guy's picture shows up. Doesn't even look like a real person. He looks like a caricature of somebody, doesn't he? I don't know. I don't know if this is Viktor Shokin or who this is, but it looks like that doesn't look like a real person. But it is. Anyway, let's finish with Tucker.
So we pretend as if what he said was normal and officially authorized. This is how things are done.
Hey, Larry.
That's not true at all. This is bizarre. And the amazing thing about the video you just saw is that no one in that audience of Harvard graduates and other assorted smart people asked the glaringly obvious question. Why was the vice president of the United States threatening a tiny country like Ukraine to fire its top prosecutor?
Hey,
that doesn't seem like the vice president's role.
Hey, what question did I just ask yesterday? Who was here yesterday? Raise your hand if you were here yesterday. What question did I just ask yesterday? Like, remember when I gave the analogy, what if China was, during the Obama administration said, hey, you guys need to fire Eric Holder or we're not going to buy any more of your bonds and finance your wars and shit. Finance all the bombs Obama was dropping. That would not fly. And yet here we are, the vice president bragging about getting one of their government officials fired. I asked that question yesterday. Good morning. Red Leopard, what's happening? Welcome back. It's crazy. Okay, here we go.
Well, now we know why. Viktor Shokin has signed an affidavit affirming that he was in fact investigating Burisma at the moment Joe Biden had him removed. Shokin said that before he was fired, administration officials pressured him into dropping the case against Burisma. He would not do that, so Joe Biden canned him. That's how things really work in Washington.
Ding.
Your son's got a lucrative consulting deal with the Ukrainian energy company. You tailor American foreign policy to help make him rich. Our foreign policy. Even at the State Department, possibly the most cynical agency in government, this seemed shockingly brazen. During the impeachment proceedings last fall, a State Department official called George Kent said it was widely known in Washington that the Bidens were up to something sleazy in Ukraine. Quote, I was on a call with somebody on the vice president's staff, and I raised my concerns that I had heard that Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma. This, George Kent noted, could create a perception of a conflict of interest. So how did the vice president's office respond to this concern? Well, according to George Kent, quote, the message that I recall hearing back was that the vice president's son, Beau, was dying of cancer, and there was no further bandwidth to deal with family-related issues at the time.
Ooh. That's, well, we don't want to answer questions because our other son is dying. That's dirty. Hello, Check Your Logic. How you doing? And I'll say hi to Avocados Diablo just in case you didn't hear me. Welcome to the Devil's Advocate. Holy shit. That's dirty.
Family-related issues. This was America's foreign policy being tailored to Joe Biden's son. 5 years later, Joe Biden still has not been forced to explain why he fired Ukraine's top prosecutor.
He didn't have to explain it last night at the town hall.
Was being paid to get him to fire Ukraine's top prosecutor.
Biggest story of the
Nor
day.
has Joe
He
Biden
didn't get
addressed
asked
whether or not he personally benefited from the Burisma contract. But there are tantalizing hints. Last night, former Mayor Rudy Giuliani published what he said was yet another email from Hunter Biden's laptop. It's a note to one of his children. It's sad, and it's fraught, and it's personal, and we're not going to quote it at length.
Wait, hang on. Good morning, Amy in Connecticut and Gamer Valine. What's happening? How are you doing? Good morning. So, okay, let's listen to this.
But at the end, there's this, quote, "Don't worry. Unlike your grandfather, I won't make you give me half your salary." What does that mean?
Oh,
exactly?
damn.
Well, we don't know. There may be more detail in the laptop, but unfortunately, we don't have access to that. But the question remains.
Well, somebody does.
How has Joe Biden lived in extravagance all these years on a government salary? No one has ever answered that question.
Because he's Joe Biden.
Come on, man.
What do you think? Well, so anyway, that's Tucker's take. By the way, I'll do that in a second. Hang on. So back to the back to this. Now there is more on the on this intro here, but wait, there's more. I guess there must be direct flights. There must be a direct flight on Epstein Airways from Kyiv to Beijing that we don't know about until now. Emails show that Hunter wanted to have lasting and lucrative deals with the top Chinese private energy company, which would bring in tens of millions for his family. The company was CEFC, China Energy Company, based in Shanghai. Chairman Ye Jianming vanished in 2018 after Chinese authorities took him into custody. CEFC went bankrupt in early 2020. One email sent to Biden on May 13, 2017, with the subject line "Expectations" included details of remuneration packages for 6 people involved in an unspecified business venture. Biden was identified as chair/vice chair, depending on agreements with CEFC, an apparent reference to the former Shanghai-based conglomerate CEFC China Energy Company. His pay was pegged at $850, and the email also noted that Hunter has some office expectations. He will elaborate. A provisional agreement stated that 4 people would split 80% of the new company's shares. Initials identified the 4 people, which correspond with the 4 people involved. In the email, HRW, JG, and TB. There was also 10 for Jim, 10 held by H for the big guy. The emails did not identify this big guy. Guess who that is? Hint, he's running for president on the Democratic Party line, and his frontal lobe is the consistency of overcooked wheatina. It cannot be stressed enough that as horrendous as all this is, it was not limited to just the 8 years of his vice presidency. Emphasis word on the vice. Joe Biden was in Washington for nearly half a century. The corruption of a national political figure and the selling out of our national security and foreign policy to not just the highest bidder, but our geopolitical enemies is staggering when seen in that context. When all of this gets out, and that's a big if, all of this gets out, it may not be too far off the mark to say that Joe Biden hurt this country every bit as much as Aldrich Ames, the Walker spy family, and Robert Hansen, if not all 3 combined. I'm no Theodore H. White. Hell, I'm not even Perry White, but this is the story of the century. At least it would be the story of the century if there were real journalists taking it national on every front page and every broadcast outlet in the nation. But at least we have the internet and alternate media to get the story out. Oh, wait. No, we don't. Silicon Valley bias towards the Democrats is overwhelming. Twitter employees are no exception. According to Open Secret's 2020 election cycle report, 98.99% of Twitter employee donations have gone to Democrats. Democratic federal candidates to date. Only 1.01% has gone to Republican federal candidates. Where Twitter employees want to donate their money is their business. But their company stepped way over the line to tip the scales in favor of the Biden campaign. Twitter shut down the Trump campaign's Twitter account 19 days before the election, while leaving the Biden campaign account up and running without interruption to disseminate its political messages freely. Even though the shutdown of the Trump campaign's Twitter account was only temporary, the shutdown reinforced Twitter's other actions to suppress dissemination of the New York Post article. In sum, Twitter has provided the Biden campaign with a tremendous gift by censoring critical information about Joe Biden's possible corrupt acts while serving as vice president that may foreshadow what he and his family would do if Biden's elected president. Voters have a right to have unfiltered access to this information, as they do to Joe Biden's position on court packing, before they cast their votes. Twitter may well have violated federal campaign finance laws with its one-sided censorship to benefit Biden's campaign. As Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley wrote in a letter to the Federal Election Commission, there can be no serious doubt that the Biden campaign derives extraordinary value from depriving voters access to information that, if true, would link the former vice president to corrupt Ukrainian oligarchs. Yes, it would. Let's see. I'm going to read the rest of this. Now, we'll talk about the town halls in a minute. Since the rise of the internet, along with talk radio, the leftist propagandists disguised as journalists had their control of the national discourse wrestled from them and have been floundering ever since. But with leftist control and the technology that allowed the rise of, well, all of us, it was only a matter of time before they struck back. Can you imagine if Rose Clyburn was still the head of the FCC, or net neutering, if net neutering, aka net neutrality, was imposed? This is just part and parcel of the attempt not just to remove Trump from office, but to actually overthrow the United States. It's a high-tech Antifa hate shake bike lock to the face. The question is, what can be done about it? I don't want the government regulating them for obvious reasons. Think EPA, IRS, DOJ, FBI, CIA. Yet, if they are somehow broken up, all we get for our troubles is several dozen Dorseys and Zuckerbergs. But they must be punished, and somehow their absolute stranglehold on the sources of real information and dissent must be broken. Figure it out and win a cookie.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right, so now let's move on, because I got a lot more to get to. Interesting. Okay, that was from that. Let's just go through my tabs here real quick. First, before I do that, though, I want to say thank you to a couple people. Thank you to Angel M. Tibbs, Aaron Meredith, Tyler F., Grillin' Pirate Pete, Necrosaw Collins, Cynical Lindsay, Blind Press, Becca Fairley. Now, what's weird, normally when you put links to my stream in a Twitter post, the link to the stream also shows a photo of what's there. And all of a sudden, yesterday they had Twitter go down for some time because apparently the wrong hashtag was trending. And ever since then, now you post Twitter links and you don't get the little box that shows you a picture and the description and all that. I wonder if that's just happening to me, or is it happening to other people, or is it happening to people of my particular persuasion, if you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out later. Also, let me just do a quick commercial while I get my tabs in order. So then, I'll be back in about a minute. Hey everybody, it's me, Marty. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I hope you're enjoying the show. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you have a moment, take time to share this stream by hitting that little arrow down below, or up here if you're on a mobile. And please hit the like button. I know you like it if you're still here and you're still watching. And finally, if you want to support the show, you can do that through your donations and super chats, which are in the description down below. You can do that at Streamlabs link or at PDawgKnight.live. That every little bit helps. And thank you for watching. Now back to the show. All right, and thank you, Marty, for that lovely commercial. All right, so let's get into my top story, at least the story in my thumbnail. This is also from the Ace of Spades. This time, actually, Ace himself did this one. Shocker, allegedly unbiased journalist, former Biden intern, and would-be moderator of the second debate admits he lied like Anthony Weiner, claiming he was hacked. He took the Joy Reid route on his supposedly hacked email account. And just like Ace, this is my shocked face. The brave firefighters of the media got caught lying every time they get caught. Every time they get caught in a jam. The face you are currently looking at is one of shock. Who would have guessed that a left-wing hack would resort to childish lying to get himself out of a jam? Also, he took responsibility by blaming Trump. So here, let me just go to the C-SPAN article here, or the AP article on Steve Scully. C-SPAN suspends Scully after he admits he lied about the hack. Obviously, I didn't read that carefully, but C-SPAN suspended its political editor, Steve. Now, wait, let me stop here. Now, let me make one point about Steve Scully, because I like C-SPAN for what it is. It's basically usually just unfiltered, uncommentated on raw video of whatever is happening in the government. If I'm going to watch the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, I don't want to watch on ABC, NBC, CNN, CBS, or Fox. I don't want pundits telling me what to think. I want to watch it and go, okay, what do I think? I don't want anyone telling me, right? So I like C-SPAN. And Scully, for the most part, on C-SPAN, when he does his call-in shows, he just takes the caller, listens, doesn't make a lot of commentary. I appreciate that. However, he got busted this time. Now, remember, Scully is a former intern of Joe Biden, and he was going to do the debate thing, right? He was gonna moderate the second debate, which got canceled for the dueling town halls. Yes, the candidates got their banjos out and played some dueling town halls last night. I might get to that today, but anyway. So anyway, that's the setup. Good morning, old grouchy gamer. What's up? Nice to see you here. All right. So they suspended its political editor, Steve Scully, indefinitely Thursday after he admitted to lying about his Twitter feed being hacked when he was confronted about a questionable exchange with former Trump aide Anthony Scaramucci, who's now one of those Trump-hating fools who's rooting for Biden. The news came on the day of what was supposed to be a career highlight for the 30-year C-SPAN veteran. Scully was to moderate the second debate between Donald Trump and Democrat Joe Biden, which was canceled after Trump would not agree to a virtual format because of his COVID-19 diagnosis. Oh, hang on a second. You mean his COVID-19 no longer have it diagnosis, right? Hello, Kevin S. Annalyn, what's up? So a week ago, after Trump had criticized him as a never Trumper, Scully tweeted, "Scaramucci, should I respond to Trump?" Scaramucci, a former Trump communications director and now a critic of the president, advised Scully to ignore him. Scully said that when he saw his tweet had created a controversy, quote, "I falsely claimed that my Twitter account had been hacked," end quote. He had been frustrated by Trump's comment and several weeks of criticism on social media and conservative news outlets about his role as moderator, including attacks directed at his family, he said. Were there attacks with his family? No, they were criticizing the debate commission because they put you, a former Biden intern, in as the second debate moderator, and because the first debate moderator was Chris Wallace, who's a never Trumper, the only registered Democrat over at Fox News, and the third debate moderator is some other left-wing hack. And so it seemed unseemly to have someone who interned for Joe fucking Biden. Okay, there went my monetization. Okay, please throw a couple tips in the tip jar because I'm never going to make money on these videos ever. These were both errors in judgment for which I am totally responsible for, Scully said. I apologize. No shit, you were totally responsible. I'm just going to cuss my way now because now it's over. Good morning, Kate Camel. Okay. Yeah, duh. Of course it's your responsibility. You lied through your teeth, biatch.
Gotcha, bitch.
Okay. He said he let down his colleagues at C-SPAN, fellow news professionals, and the debate commission. I asked for their forgiveness, and I try to move forward in a moment of reflection and am disappointed in myself. Yeah, so he blames it on Trump. Oh, I'm frustrated with Trump's comment. No, just shut the fuck up and do your job. And I'm, you know what? Here's the thing. I personally, just from watching C-SPAN for a very, very long time, I don't know why. I have this weird fascination with C-SPAN. I've always have. I like how it's just raw video. And Scully has been very, very even-handed on his entire time on C-SPAN. So I'm pretty sure he would have been a decent debate moderator. But reaching out to Scaramouche in this case just doesn't play well in Omaha. Okay? So making excuses, how about just instead of trying to blame it on Trump and your frustration, blah, 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 nobody cares. Say, hey, yeah, that probably doesn't look good. And I'm sorry. That's all you had to say. No. He went the Joy Reid route. And by the way, has Joy Reid ever found the hackers of her account that multiple times? And that's how this guy got busted, because he's used that hacked excuse several times before. Nobody's fucking hacking your Twitter account, dude. Anyway, C-SPAN said Scully confessed to lying about the hack on Wednesday. He understands that he made a serious mistake, said the network. We were very saddened by this news and do not condone his actions. And of course, but of course, this is an AP article, which is mainstream media. And so somebody is going to pounce, seize, or attack. And so their next line, I'm surprised this isn't the first line of the article. What's the first line of the article? Nope, they actually were factual. We started with this. So then down here they say, Trump seized on the news, tweeting, I was right again. Steve Scully just admitted he was lying about his Twitter being hacked. The debate was rigged. And the debate commission did not immediately return a message for seeking comment. Okay, enough of that. Let's see, where was I here? So anyway, according to now Ace's take here, when he said he'd been frustrated by Trump's comment and several weeks of criticism on social media and conservative news outlets about his role as moderator, including attacks directed at his family, he said, that's a lie too. He just lied about the hack, and he's lying about the reason for the hack. Thank you, Cryptic. I see you. And Cryptic with the $5 on to Streamlabs. Got to get my fingers ready. Who says, my Asian friend had a blood test. His parents nearly disowned him when he got a B+. Oh, Cryptic, you are a funny motherfucker. Okay, good morning, Cryptic. Also, good morning, Johnny Hellcat, the very first viewer of the Morning Night Live. You will always get credit, Johnny, because you know how much I love you, brother. So anyway, Sarah Zhang. Oh, this is a lie. He just lied about the hack. He's lying about the reason for the hack. You know who Sarah Zhang is, right? Isn't she that? She's the New York Times biatch. Sarah Zhang, the outrageously anti-white, anti-male racist at the New York Times, similarly claimed that bad men on the internet made me say racist shit about white people. Notice they never quote the attacks they claim provoked their own behavior, but they always describe them as attacks, usually meaning criticism or disagreement, or death threats, which often means something like, go die in a fire. much, or rape threats, which usually just means fuck you and or suck my dick. The attacks that they say drove them to lie or write dozens of racist attacks against white people must obviously be very serious things, right? So serious that they would surely screenshot it for possible use by the police should they become involved in the hunt for these malefactors. But for some reason, they can never quote, link, or provide screen captures of these possibly criminal provocations because they're lying. Thank you, Cryptic. Another $5 on the Streamlabs, who says... Around 80% of all Asians that move to America get cataracts. The remaining 20% usually buy Chevrolets, Lexus, or Lincoln. Some of them get a Land Rover. Okay, can I need to do a disclaimer here. By the way, thank you, Cryptic. You know how much I love you, brother. Just so you know, Cryptic is allowed to make Asian jokes because Cryptic is Asian. So, whoever's going to try to flag my stream, I hope you listen to what happened after the joke, because I'm telling you, Cryptic is allowed to make Asian jokes. Thank you very much. Oh, my goodness. Okay, do I even finish this article? I can't. Every time I saw earlier claims that Scully's wife was herself somehow politically connected to the Democrats, and therefore Scully's own impartiality was in question. I don't know if these claims are true. I'm unable to find anything online about his wife, but I remember those claims. He's now claiming that people talking about his wife's political affiliation constitutes an attack on my family. Oh, I didn't realize. I was wondering what he meant by the attack on his family. Get the fuck out of here. Produce those attacks, Scully. Let's see these horrible attacks on your family so we can judge how serious they were. Also, Steve, while I've got you, you claimed twice before that you were hacked. Were your claims prior hacked situations similarly provoked by attacks on your family? Or nah? Maybe attacks of alcohol on your brain cells might be more responsible. Quote, these were both errors in judgment for which I am totally responsible for, Scully said. I apologize. Yeah, duh. I already said. Yes, we already know that. Except that Trump was really to blame for calling Scully partisan. He is, and some internet randos suggested his wife was connected to Democrat politics. Open question on that. But other than shifting the blame to the people who made him lie, yeah, he's taking full responsibility. Any apology from Chris Wallace, who leaped into claiming that Scully should be presumed to be truthful? By the way, John Ward, maybe I should just link the video. Watch John Ward. I'm not going to read any more of this, but I do want you to watch John Ward's video on this. And I'm going to link it in the chat as soon as I find it here. Because it's quite funny, I should say. And regarding how Chris Wallace saw this, let's see, find me some John Ward here. I need some, like, you know how, like, the dating game had just some little game show music when I'm trying to find shit. Here it is. I'm going to link John Ward's video. I'm going to share. Can you share these from here? No, I got to open the whole damn thing. If you're not familiar with John Ward's a funny dude. And I just think, here's John Ward's take. You can watch this after the show. Right click and then pause. There it is. Poof. All right, let's move on. Enough of that. We've talked about Steve Scully enough. Another ace one. Look who. Oh, now... Speaking of election interference, so a friend, Ace, who is the curator of the Ace of Spades blog, hates Twitter. And so he quit Twitter 3 or 4 years ago. But because all this news about Twitter was happening yesterday, he decided to join Twitter, right? So it'd be easier for him to follow these articles that we're talking about and the tweets and shit like that. So he got on, he went signed up and put a new Twitter account on Twitter last night. And what's fascinating is when you join Twitter generally suggests some people to follow, right? They have, you know, if any of you are new at Twitter, you know, they suggest people to follow. And so he decided to let us know who Twitter suggests he follow. Look at who Twitter suggests I follow 19 days before a very consequential presidential election. He writes, I signed up for Twitter. Don't worry, it was just to be able to read stuff more easily. This is who they recommended I follow 19 days before an important presidential election. Not a single conservative politician, not even the very popular Donald John Trump. Although, of course, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Hillary Clinton are all recommended. He wrote this yesterday, check your logic. It was 19 days when he wrote this. I'm just saying. I know it's 18 days today, but it's not. By the way, good morning, check your logic. Nice to see you. And also, D.I. Fred Roger. Did I say hi to you yet? Okay. Not, and Alexandria Donkey Chompers and John Kerry and Michael Bloomberg. Not a single conservative pundit, unless you count David Frum, a liberal who is now all but declared Democrat, and who only doesn't declare as Democrat to preserve his market as a reasonable conservative. I would include, look, I'm just going to show you this. I'm going to scroll down. Here are some of the people they recommended. A new person on Twitter who they have no idea of their party affiliation or any of their political beliefs or anything. They suggest you follow just because you joined Twitter. David Frum, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Cardi B, who interviewed Joe Biden, Ariana Grande, why? Chuck Todd, Michelle Obama, Rihanna, Bernie Sanders, Ryan Reynolds, oh, sexy, LeBron James, Justin Timberlake, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Michael Bloomberg, John Kerry, Ronan Farrow, Elon Musk. Oh, well, that could be, he could be considered in the middle or something. I don't know. Kevin Hart. Well, Kevin Hart's very popular. And so is the entertainers on here. Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Liz Smith, former senior advisor of communications for Pete Buttigieg, and Hillary Clinton. Holy shit. So if so he writes here, if hello, hypnagogic monk. If John Deere Tractor Say, who is also not a publisher, turned its corporate publicity into a 24/7 advertising effort for the GOP, they'd have to disclose their in-kind, meaning not in money, but in goods and services, donations. Why doesn't Twitter? It's supposedly also not a publisher. So which is it, Twitter? Are you not a publisher, in which case you have a Section 230 immunity, but not immunity from federal law requiring you to disclose in-kind donations to a candidate? Are you a publisher, in which case you do not have to disclose, in which you do not have to disclose in-kind donations, but you do not have Section 230 immunity to lawsuit? If anyone else is in contact with any Republican representatives who do more than posture on the issue, please forward this post to them. Amazing. Yeah, that's what happens when you join Twitter. You get those are the people that you get suggested to follow. Fan flipping tastic. Also great news yesterday. Hold on. This is sort of great news, but sort of Midland news. I'm just saying. The fact that they have not been stripped of 230 shows the system is broken. Yeah, well, the FCC chairman chimed in on that yesterday. Hard disk fail. And Lindsay, did I say hi? If I didn't, good morning. I think I did. But I'll always err on doing it again. So there you go. So yesterday, the FCC chairman pulled out another promise out of his behind. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai, I intend to provide a, quote, clarification to the scope of protections offered by Section 230. Now, here's something interesting. I don't even think, I think somebody, particularly somebody who's been possibly slandered or whatever on Facebook or Twitter should just go ahead and bring the lawsuits against them and let it go through the courts right now based on this Section 230 and make the case that these people are publishers and sue the living shit out of them. In particular, I thought perhaps Nicholas Sandman, someone like Nicholas Sandman, maybe Kyle Rittenhouse, someone of that nature should do it. They should go ahead and sue Twitter and Facebook for this, because it'd be pretty easy at this point to show that they are a publisher and let anyone who so everyone who slandered Sandman or Rittenhouse on Twitter, sue Twitter for that, because they've obviously curated certain information in very recent history to prove that they are no longer a platform. They are no longer the bookstore that just carries the books. They are the publisher who decides what's in the books. Okay, it's not like, because they're in there blacking out lines in the books in their bookstore, which means they are curating what's in there, and now they are a publisher. Because and I got a feeling, I don't give a shit about the FCC. I want the courts to do this and let it go all the way to the Supreme Court after Judge Barrett is approved. Anyway, here's the FCC chairman's statement. Federal Communications Commission Chairman Ajit Pai issued the following statement today on Section 230 of the Communications Act. Members of all three branches of the federal government have expressed serious concerns about the prevailing interpretation of the immunity set forth in Section 230 of the Communications Act. There is bipartisan support in Congress to reform this law. The U.S. Department of Commerce has petitioned the Commission to clarify ambiguities in Section 230, and earlier this week, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas pointed out that courts have relied upon policy and purpose arguments to grant sweeping protections to internet platforms that appear to go far beyond the actual text of the provisions. As elected officials consider whether to change the law, the question remains: what does Section 230 currently mean? Many advance an overly broad interpretation that in some cases shields social media companies from consumer protection laws in a way that has no basis in the text of Section 230. The Commission's General Counsel has informed me that the FCC has the legal authority to interpret Section 230. Consistent with this advice, I intend to move forward with a rulemaking to clarify its meaning. Throughout my tenure at the Federal Communications Commissions, I have favored regulatory parity, transparency, and free expression. Social media companies have a First Amendment right to free speech, but they do not have a First Amendment right to a special immunity denied to other media outlets such as newspapers and broadcasters. So, yeah, whatever. Promises, as Ace says. The mention of consumer protection law is interesting, suggesting that the monopolies might be amenable to suit for violating terms of service, like promising to be the free speech wing of the free speech party and then turning into the most egregious mass censor the world has ever known. So anyway, if it was Thursday, what would I be saying right now? FTG. All right, let's move on here. I don't have any bookmarks. Oh, but I do have a couple more thank yous, I believe. Thank you, Chi-Town J, and or just thank you, Chi-Town J, for retweeting the show. If you would be so kind, hit the share arrow and retweet it, or retweet, repost, whatever. Those places up there. Follow me on one of those if you haven't already. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go to the things that I was going to do yesterday. Now, granted, the Senate Judiciary Committee seems to be done with their portion of the confirmation process for Amy Coney Barrett. Couple things that from the other day, though. Amy Coney Barrett's a cool character. And this article, Unflappable. Amy Coney Barrett sees through Kamala Harris's trap and won't take the bait. The tables have turned. Amy Coney Barrett, President Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominee, continued to impress Americans on the third day of her confirmation hearing. Even Senator Dianne Feinstein of California, who notoriously attacked Barrett for the dogma living loudly within her, said, "I'm really impressed. By the way, they dragged her on Twitter yesterday, but I'm just saying anyway." Barrett also definitely responded to Senator Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee for vice president, when she tried to trap the nominee in questions about climate change. Here are some of the highlights from Wednesday. One, she schooled Durbin on originalism. Senator Dick Durbin tried to accuse Amy Coney Barrett of rejecting originalism when she refused to answer a hypothetical question about a president's actions regarding race in voting. When asked whether or not the president has the authority to unilaterally deny the right to vote for a person based on race or even gender, "Are you saying you can't answer that question?" Durbin pressed. "Senator, I just referenced the 14th and 15th Amendments, the same one that you just repeated back to me, that do prohibit discrimination on the basis of race in voting," Barrett responded. "I'm not going to answer hypotheticals. The amendments did it for you." Good morning, ex-Bubba Hotep. Welcome. Durbin attempted to weaponize originalism against an originalist. "It strains originalism if the clear wording of the Constitution establishes a right and you will not acknowledge it," the senator charged. "Well, Senator, it would strain the canons of conduct, which don't permit me to offer off-the-cuff reactions to any opinions outside of the judicial decision-making process. It would strain Article 3, blah, 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 blah." Anyway, she took care of him. So he says, "I hope Durbin has some ointment for that burn." Then here's Dianne Feinstein. We'll just let her speak for herself.
Designed to effectuate your intent, but severability is designed to say, well, would Congress still want the statute to stand even with this provision gone? Would Congress have still passed the same statute without it? So I think insofar as it tries to effectuate what Congress would have wanted, it's the court and Congress working hand in hand.
Thank you. That's quite a definition. I'm really impressed. Thank you.
And she got, they ripped her to shreds for even saying that she was impressed. Dianne Feinstein, the traitor. Now, also, there's something else I noticed about the second day of testimony. And actually the first day. Okay, so first was the first day of all the introductions and the opening statements, okay? And every frickin' senator in the Judiciary Committee had an opening statement. And then some law professor had an opening statement. Then Coney Barrett had her opening statement. And then another law professor who couldn't handle the technology did. I noticed something on day 2, which was the first day of actual questions, and day 3, which is the second day of actual questions. And I wonder if anyone else noticed this who watched the hearing. Did anybody notice that Amy Coney Barrett's voice changed from the first day compared to the second and third day? It seems to me that somebody said she was talking in too high of a pitched voice the first day, because on day 2 and day 3, her voice was noticeably lower and kind of smoother, not as pitchy. I think someone said something to her. And if anyone else noticed that, let me know. That was something that I noticed. All right, then she evades Kamala Harris's trap. How long is this one? Is this worth playing? Yeah, this is good.
And do you accept that COVID-19 is infectious?
I think, yes, I do accept that COVID-19 is infectious. That's something of which I feel like, we could say you take judicial notice of. It's an obvious fact, yes.
Do you accept that smoking causes cancer?
I'm not sure exactly where you're going with this, but the notice that
It's
smoking
just a
causes.
question. The question is what it is. You can answer it if you believe.
Yeah,
Yes or no.
she's, oh my God, she's insufferable. Anyway.
Senator Harris, yes, every package of cigarettes warns that smoking causes cancer.
And do you believe that climate change is happening and is threatening the air we breathe and the water we drink?
Senator, again,
Wait. What did she ask? Hold on.
I believe that climate change is happening and is threatening the air we breathe and the water we drink.
Okay, that's an interesting question. Listen to the question she asked. Do you believe that climate change is happening and affects the air that we breathe and the water that we drink? Huh. Now, I'm going to let in the immortal words of Conway, I'm going to let you finish, but first, climate change affecting the air that we breathe and the water that we drink? Now, I haven't heard any of the scientists make a major correlation on those things. I've heard, idea that maybe some places climate would cause storms and cause droughts and fires and all that shit. But the air that we breathe and the water that we drink, what does that mean? Anyway, let's hear her. I'm pitchy. Yes, I'm always pitchy. Hello. By the way, hello, Devin. How you doing? Here, let's go.
Senator, again, I was wondering where you were going with that. You have asked me a series of questions that are completely uncontroversial, like whether COVID-19 is infectious, whether smoking causes cancer, and then trying to analogize that to eliciting an opinion on me that is a very contentious matter, opinion from me that is on a very contentious matter of public debate. And I will not do that. I will not express a view on a matter of public policy, especially one that is politically controversial, because that's inconsistent with the judicial role, as I have explained.
Thank you, Judge Barrett, and you've made your point clear that you believe it's a debatable point. Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, whatever. Hello, Moonbase Radio. Reese Donald, how you doing? Expo Hotep. Yeah, good Lord. She just wants to get her on. Oh, my God. Anyway. That's that article. Also, Barrett smacks down critical race theory professor who claims she's a colonizer for adopting black children. At the risk of people saying things like that, which would be so hurtful to my family, that I had to really weigh the cost of this. Senator John Kennedy, who's a Republican from Louisiana, no relation to the Kennedy family that you're thinking about when I say that, asked Judge Amy Coney Barrett about the hateful attacks on her family and adopted children from Haiti. Barrett said, "These are my children who we love and who we brought home and made part of our family, and accusations like that are cruel." Because who was that? What's his name? Ibram X. Kendi, whatever. This came up because at the end of September, Boston University's Ibram X. Kendi called Barrett and her husband, quote, white colonizers who used their black children as props and civilized them in the superior ways of white people. No, I did not say wiped. I said white. And that's what he said. So here's the questions from John Kennedy.
I'm going to finish this housekeeping because I want to talk about the law. I want to give you a chance to respond to something. Some butthead professor.
Wait, I forgot about that. First of all, John Kennedy is probably the most entertaining senator on the planet because he comes up off the wall shit and he talks in his, he's from Louisiana. He talks in that New Orleans down there accent and just sounds like this hillbilly. But let me start that again, or just when he starts, some butthead.
Something. Some butthead professor at Boston University.
And she kept a straight face when he said that. I gotta go back.
Head professor.
Oops.
Some butthead professor Some butthead professor at Boston University says that because you and your husband have 2 children of color, that you're a white colonist. The implication is that you're a racist and that you use your 2 children as props. Do you use your children as props?
Senator Kennedy, it was the risk of people saying things like that, which would be so hurtful to my family, that when I told Senator Graham this morning that my husband and I had to really weigh the costs of this, it was saying deeply offensive and hurtful things that are not only hurtful to me, but are hurtful to my children, who are my children, who we love, and who we brought home and made part of our family. And accusations like that are cruel.
Yeah, they are.
They're asinine. They're not just cruel. They're freaking asinine. But whatever. So the reason that came up is because, again, Boston University Ibram X. Kendi called Barrett and her husband white colonizers to use their black children as props and civilize them in the superior ways of white people. To some butthead. Barrett responded it was the risk of, okay, we heard a remark. The remarks hurt Barrett and her husband, but also her children, who we love and who we brought home and made a part of our family. You know what else is sick? Kendi's not the only one who questions Barrett's adoption of Haiti children. Next Generation America managing director John Lee Brower was another critic of Barrett's adopted family. He tweeted, "As an adoptee, I need to know more about the circumstance of how Amy Coney Barrett came to adopt her children and the treatment of them since." Motherfucker, you don't think that would have come up sometime in the last, 17 years that her daughter's been adopted? Good morning, TC Ball. And then he continued, he wrote, "Transracial adoption is fraught with trauma and potential for harm, and everything I see here is deeply concerning." Why? Why would it be deeply concerning to you, and what exactly do you think you're seeing, you fucking asshole? You fuck yourself. Democratic activist Dana Houle said he would love to know which adoption agency Amy Coney Barrett and her husband used to adopt the 2 children they brought here from Haiti. Excuse me. Does the press even investigate details of Barrett's adoption from Haiti? Houle asked. Some adoptions from Haiti were legit. Many were sketchy as hell. Excuse me. And if press learned they were unethical and illegal adoptions, would they report it or not? Because it involves children. And my answer to you, sir, is...
Come on, man. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Go to hell. Go straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Okay, moving on. Also, from the yesterday, this isn't what happened. Barrett pushes back on Klobuchar's suggestion that she cut a deal with Trump. My senator from the great state of Minnesota, who might be one of the dimmest senators in the United States Senate. Here's their little exchange. If this thing ever decides to, for some reason, I don't know why it always happens on Daily Caller videos. I think it's because they try to embed their own and they take forever to load. Anyway, my senator was all about the Affordable Care Act, and just like most of the Democrats, they wanted their whole job during the hearings were to try to scare people. Now, you got to remember, because they're talking about the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare. Do you realize in a country of 320 or 330 million people, do y'all realize there are only 8 million people on Obamacare? Now, doesn't mean that they should not have health care. It doesn't mean that we want to rip it from them and make people sick and die because they can't afford their health care. But those 8 million people on Obamacare have because of that program, have caused the insurance for everybody in the country to just go out of fucking just nuts, right? This is crazy how premiums have gone up because of all the mandates in Obamacare. Like even the I love the fact that my kids can be on my health insurance until 26. Okay, sure, that's great. But do you realize because of that, it cost my company how much more that cost my company when, you're in theory, you're an adult at 18, you can get a job, right? Or you're in college. I can see until maybe they had some provision for, well, maybe they say that's for college or whatever, but there's obviously options for healthcare. I remember when I was in college, when you couldn't be on your parents' healthcare, we had a healthcare plan at the university that was like $50 a month now, or $40 a month, that helped us pay for it. It was all part of your tuition, room and board. So there's other ways to do it that are probably a lot cheaper than Obamacare. But by doing all the mandates in Obamacare, made the cost of premiums skyrocket because one, they're also subsidizing all those people who get, what do they call the exception, for subsidies on Obamacare. I don't know. There's got to be different ways. Anyway, let's see this load. Here we go. Here's my. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, they're talking about the Trump town hall. Anyway, okay, forget it. I don't even want you here for a senator. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for the $4.99 on the Streamlabs, who says, "Hoes mad." Supreme Court nominee Amy Judge Coney Barrett quickly corrected a suggestion by Democratic Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar Wednesday that Barrett had cut an implicit deal with President Trump on Obamacare. Klobuchar focused a line of questioning around the Affordable Care Act Wednesday afternoon, like Democratic California Senator Kamala Harris did Tuesday evening, pressing Barrett on whether Barrett knew she was nominated when she was nominated, that one of Trump's campaign promises was to repeal Obamacare. As I said before, I'm aware that the president opposes the Affordable Care Act, Barrett responded. Well, you know what I know you are aware now, Klobuchar said, but were you aware back then when you were nominated? Senator Klobuchar, I think that the Republicans have kind of made it clear it's been part of the book, Public Discourse, the Supreme Court nominee responded. Is the answer yes then? Klobuchar pressed Barrett, who interrupted her. Well, Senator Klobuchar, all these questions you are suggesting that I have animus or that I cut a deal with this president, Barrett told her, and I was very clear yesterday that isn't what happened. Harris also said Tuesday that the Affordable Care Act and all its protections hinge on the outcome of the Barrett confirmation hearings. No, they don't. Republicans have spent a decade trying to destroy the Affordable Care Act, the California Democrats said Tuesday evening. Donald Trump named a Supreme Court justice who would tear down the Affordable Care Act. Harris, who is also a presidential candidate, Joe Biden's running mate, noted that President Trump has argued the Affordable Care Act should be struck in its entirety. She said that the Supreme Court could be just one vote away from overturning Obamacare. In other words, the Affordable Care Act and all its protections hinge on this seat and the outcome of this hearing. She said, I believe it's very important that the American people understand the issues at stake. Harris asked Barrett whether she was aware of Trump's intention to nominate a justice who would overturn the Obamacare. Barrett told the vice presidential candidate that she never made a commitment on this matter. So there you go. So, in other words, F-O. And also, Senator Whitehouse. Oh, hi, Sean. What's up? I wish people would hold these assholes accountable. Yeah. Asked Judge Barrett if she's the subject of an ethics investigation. Don't know where that came from, Senator Whitehouse, but anyway. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse did not ask Judge Amy Coney Barrett any questions at Tuesday's confirmation hearing, using his time instead to allege that big anonymous Republican money influences Supreme Court cases. Oh, that is some really dangerous rhetoric, if you ask me. But on Wednesday, Whitehouse asked Barrett a number of questions, beginning with judicial ethics on whether Barrett is under investigation. Here is that exchange. We're not going to go through 4 minutes. Here's the main part of the exchange we want to talk about. Whitehouse, Judge Barrett, on the Seventh Circuit, you are subject to a code of ethics, are you not? Barrett says, I am. Whitehouse, I presume you're okay with that. Barrett, of course. Whitehouse, you probably think that's a good thing. Barrett says, yes. Indeed, it is true that of all the circuit courts that they are subject to pretty much the same code of ethics, correct? Yes. It gets different at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is not subject to a code of ethics, is it? Barrett, the canons of judicial conduct that apply to lower courts do not apply to the Supreme Court. I believe it is the practice of the Supreme Court to follow them. Whitehouse, they do not apply. We agree. And indeed, going to the Supreme Court can interrupt an ethics investigation, as we saw with Justice Kavanaugh. It was a bullshit investigation, who had an ongoing ethics investigation in his circuit and interrupted by his appointment to the Supreme Court, right? We have no Seventh Circuit investigation going on with you. I'm not aware, said Barrett, clearly wondering where this was heading. I suspect you would be. We can put that behind us, Whitehouse said, with respect to reporting of gifts, of travel, of hospitality, and what the Constitution might call emoluments. All of the circuits have a pretty solid rule about reporting those, and you comply with that rule on the Seventh Circuit, do you not? I do. It might even be by statute that we all have to do that, but I do, Barrett said. Whitehouse continued. And the rule, I don't know how familiar you are with this, I offer this as a proposition. The rule that you follow and the way which circuit judges follow it aligns well with the reporting requirements that in the executive branch, members of the cabinet who have to do when they get gifts, travel, hospitality, or their emoluments, and it aligns quite well with the reporting that members of Congress have to do when they get gifts of travel or hospitality or such emoluments. The discrepancy here is with the Supreme Court, which has a much lower standard of transparency and disclosure about those very same things. So it's a bit of a mystery when I see the situation that when you go up to the court, you will not be subject to the code of ethics that you are not the subject to now or any other, and you will have lower reporting requirements than you do now that any of us do. I flagged that for you because I think it's anomalous. The highest court should have the lowest standards, and I don't know if you want to say something about that. At a minimum, I hope you will keep an open mind about trying to fix that when you are on the court. If you have a defense of why the highest court should have a lower standard, have at it now. Barrett replies, I didn't know. I know that the justices file financial disclosure reports. I've never looked at one. I didn't know that they were different or that it was a lower standard from the ones the rest of us file. Take a look at it when you get up there, Whitehouse advised. So what the hell was Whitehouse doing here? Anyone have any idea? Is he just trying to hint that he's going to take this in a different direction and when it gets to the full Senate? Are they going to try to, they're trying to, I think he's implying that she might be taking, so when he suggested the day before that he alleged that big anonymous Republican money influenced Supreme Court cases, then the next day he asked about this. Is he saying that the Supreme Court justices are being influenced or bribed by Republican money? And then he goes into this line of questioning the next day. What a jackass. I got a feeling that's something. He's up to something as far as I'm seeing. All right, real quick. Thank you. X Bubba Hotep with the 666, the devil's donation on Streamlabs. Thank you. If they were so worried about appointing one judge might overturn certain laws by reading it as written, then maybe they should write their laws better. Oh, hell yes. Yeah. X Bubba Hotep, you are spot on. That's the thing. Hey, write your laws better. Hello, Chrome. What's happening? All right. What time? Oh, I'm over time already. I'm having so much fun with this stuff that I'm over time. Hi, guys. You know, we'll do a quick check of what's happening in the world, but I want to say real quick, please hit the like button while you're thinking about it before I do the last couple. See what's check in with the news of the day, any breaking news. Hit the like button. We got 68 people. We've had up to 70 some people here. Nice day on the show. Lots of people here. But if you haven't done so, hit the like button. Let's check real quick just to see if there's any breaking news. Then I got to get the hell out of Dodge. I am going to stream probably one of the days over the weekend, and I got a couple videos I'm working on that maybe I'll get done. But the big thing yesterday was the dueling town halls, and if I do stream, it may probably be this afternoon to talk about those. It was interesting. Here's one thing that I'm gonna get preview on this. So, Mr. Reagan, if you're familiar with Mr. Reagan, and I'll put his video up here too. In fact, I will put his video up here. Watched both town halls and decided to count how many times the candidates were interrupted. Now, rather than just telling you outright, I am choosing to link Mr. Reagan's video. So I'm not gonna, obviously you'll see it when you see the
on the 15th
tab.
of October.
Let me pause that and let me put that one in the chat too. Right click this and save it for later. You need to watch it. There you go. All right. And oh, yes. Oh, thank you, Pincollar, for reminding me. I'm glad you did. I'll read that in a second. Real quick, let's check the Explore tab. So yesterday was the dueling town halls between the two septuagenarians. I don't think they had any banjos or guitars, but they did have, they did answer questions. What was fascinating about the town halls is how Savannah Guthrie, who Ace calls Savannah Gutterball, how many times she interrupted and how many times she wanted answers, and who cares what the people in the town hall wanted to hear about? Savannah Guthrie was going to control that. In fact, it was like a debate. It was like a debate between Donald Trump and Savannah Guthrie. I thought I was watching a debate. And then you go over to Joe Biden's town hall, and it was like, oh my gosh. Let's just listen to. First of all, there were no. If you watched, I watched a little bit of both. Joe Biden's had these fluff questions, and basically, tell me how terrible Trump is, and this and that, but never a follow up to any of the questions. So even the questions that should have been fairly challenging for Biden, he would just pivot away from it, and never would they follow up. Whereas in Trump's town hall, Savannah Guthrie made sure she was following up and asking this and doing that and yada, yada, yada. Why aren't you this? And how come you're so terrible? And why is your orange a little more orange today? And it was just the tale of two town halls. If you watch them side by side, you'd think, are these guys running for the same office? They don't really, it's a hug box for Joe Biden, I got to tell you. Anyway, so on the Explore tab, obviously, there's Joe Biden discusses flaws in the 1994 crime bill and admits some elements were a mistake. Oh, because they implemented them wrong. That was his take. Let's go on the trending tab, though. Not the trending tab, the news tab, just to see if there's anything breaking. Financial Times, will America tear itself apart? Well, that's weird. Why would they have someone cheering for Trump? And notice the picture they use, because the Trump people are going to tear America apart, not the idiots who are in the street burning buildings and burning cop cars. By the way, in Portland, last night, someone set a cop car on fire with the officer still in it. Yes, but will America tear itself apart? The perfect picture of that is some Trump supporters waving flags and cheering for the president. But it looks like they're mean. See, they got this picture at just the perfect time when you're cheering, but it looks like you're being really nasty and dirty and nasty and fucking rocka, shaka, and we're gonna tear you fuckers apart, yada yada. I'm gonna guess that she was just cheering for someone in the street, because the other lady kind of has a happy face, sort of. Anyway, President Trump's answers voters' question at NBC town hall meeting. That was last night. Wall Street Journal, Biden holds an 11-point lead over Trump. Here's what the polling shows. I have about as much confidence in polling right now in the American electorate as I have that a saber-toothed tiger will jump through my living room window and eat my dog. That's how much confidence I have in the polling. Plus, almost if you look at the background, whatever, the back side of all the polls, all these polls showing with Biden with double-digit leads, all significantly oversampled Democrats. I don't know why they do this. They did it in the last election, and they oversampled Democrats to just ridiculous numbers. And then when you have the election, there's pretty much a even number of Republicans and Democrats who vote. And then but in the sampling of these polls, it's like 50% to 26%. So of course you're going to get poll results that are overwhelmingly skewed toward Democrats, and the elections never end up in that way. Anyway, let's see. There is nothing from today. Apparently, it's all yesterday and last night. Well, last night. Let's see what's last night here. 8 million have slipped into poverty since May as federal aid dried up. Now, who should we blame? Who should we blame? Well, John Smith, this is a national poll. We should use the Electoral College. Yeah, we should. And swing state polls, if you would actually adjust for what the expected actual turnout is, Trump leads in a lot of those important swing states like Florida, Iowa, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. If you adjust for what the voter turnout has been. But it's hard to predict. They do it to discourage people from voting. I think what's going to happen, though, they keep doing this. They're going to discourage the wrong people from voting. They're going to discourage the people who think that it's in the bag, and it's going to motivate. Look, the Trump base enthusiasm gap versus the Biden voters is astronomical. So believe me, I don't think it doesn't discourage the Trump base. It electrifies the Trump base to prove them wrong again. So I don't know what's up with the poll people, but I think they've been smoking poll. And that's a weird reference anyway. So yeah, there's nothing new up here except for will America tear itself apart or whatever. Spin class linked to 72 COVID cases. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. This is from last night. Everything you need to know about how a gym that public health officials say did everything right became a super spreader. So now they're scared you from going to the gym. So now they want you to get fat and die. Spin co-member says owners did everything right to keep ham on tea, whatever that patron safe. Oh, I see. That's the name of the place. From COVID-19, and that riders knew the risk. She says super spread event could have happened anywhere. Story by Fallon whoever. 69 cases of COVID-19 connected to Spin Company. This member says she's a fine individual. I just wanted to look at her picture for a little bit. Anyway, okay. I got a feeling. If you're in a spin class, you probably don't have a ton of comorbidities. So yes, you may have gotten this virus and you may be asymptomatic, but I'm assuming if most people in spin classes, I'm guessing, are in the younger set or at least below 70 and probably don't have a ton of comorbidities because you're healthy enough to be in a spin class. So the fact that you got an infection may not be the end of the world. It's just another case where they're trying to what's a good word for this? Where they're trying to trump up. Nope. Yes, the pun was intended. They're trying to trump up the risk of cases and make sure that you don't live your life. I'm kind of at yeah, there you go, Lindsay. Exactly. Call me when there's a rise in hospitalizations. Okay, let's finish up with a paid advertisement from Pincalo. Just remind you that our friend Blind Press will be streaming at the top of the hour. Pincalo, feel free to put a link to her stream before I go. Let me finish this up again. Please hit the like button before you click away from me. And thank you so much for being here today on the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT for people in other parts of the world that don't use our American time zones. Before you go, again, hit the like button, share the video either through Twitter, Minds, Gab, and Parler. I'm on all four of those platforms putting out notifications, or you can hit the share arrow down here. If you're watching on replay, please leave a comment in the comment section so that I know you were here. And finally, donations to the channel, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you, Pincalo, X-Bubba Hotep, Johnny Hellcat, Cryptic, Anya Knees. I still say that's kind of a Ukrainian name. Anya Knees, Black Hebrew Israelite, and Blind Press, and Gunfox61. You are so greatly appreciated for helping keep the show going. At some point, I may be able to lower my hours somewhere else because you guys are always so generous. So I greatly appreciate that. And if you want to do donations, you can do them through Streamlabs with either credit card or PayPal. Also, YouTube Super Chats, and in the description down below, Cashapp and Venmo, where you can do donations to the show to keep us running and helping me get new equipment just like this, which makes me sound better and more soothing to your ears. And where's the one? Oh, I need to. Oh, I don't have the list here. Hang on a second. Let me try this. Let's see, 6. Let's try this. Nope, 6. Thank you. Okay, I don't know if that worked. I'll find out when I play the replay, and I probably am still echoing. Where's 22? Here, let's just turn it off. There we go. Okay, so anyway. Thank you for being here, people. I gotta go. My name is PDawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.